All right, let's continue the review for exam 3. We have 5 minutes left. If we run out of time, we'll just keep working on it. Just do not look at the answers. We are on, this is question, we did the question number 27. So let's see number 28. Seems a water problem. Let me copy paste. Make sure you read the words when you tackle a water problem. If necessary, you read it more times until you thoroughly understand what's going on in the problem. Understand what's going on means you know what is given in a problem and what is not given, what is unknown, and the thing you're looking for. This problem, if there are n people at a party and each person shakes hands with every other person once, the number of handshakes that take place among the n people is h equals 0.5 times parentheses n squared minus n. Barry is hosting a holiday party and he has invited 19 friends. If all his friends attend this party and everyone, including Barry, shakes hands with everyone else at the party, how many handshakes will take place? All right, so this is about handshake. So this is about function. Good news is we don't have to model ourselves because the modeling is already given. The function is already given. Is h equals 0.5 times parentheses n squared minus n. This function has two variables, variable h and then variable n. Let's figure out what does each variable represent. H here represents the number of handshakes. Number of handshakes. N here means n people, number of people. And what is our targets? Our targets is the handshakes will take place. How many handshakes? So we are looking for H. In order to find the value for H, we need to know the value of N. Anyone would like to give the value of N? How many people in the party? In Barry's party. Knowing Barry is gonna be one of the people shake hands with others. And he invited 19 friends. 19 plus 1, 20. Awesome, very good. So we're gonna have n equals 20. And all we need to do is to plug in n equals 20. All right, so let's see. H equals half times 20 squared minus 20. I'm going to use a calculator. And this is 400. We'll not use a calculator. 400 minus 20 is 380. Half of 380 is 190. Double check. 180, 380, 380, 190. Okay, so the answer is 190. Let me enter. It seems difficult, a lot of things going on, but it's actually just a function, and you are given the value of the independent variable. All you need to do is to plug it in and then find the value for the dependent variable. Next, factorization. Copy paste. Factor completely. Use the difference of two squares formula right here. use difference of two squares formula or perfect square trinomial formula. So this one has to be difference of two squares formula because the polynomial is a binomial. Formula a squared minus b squared equals a minus b times a plus b. Knowing the two factors, the two binomial factors, the order of them in the multiplication doesn't matter. The formula could be a squared minus b squared equals a plus b and then times a minus b. Both of them are correct. So let's see our binomial. We have x to the power 4th minus 16. X to the power 4th is x times x times x times x. And I can put the first two together, I have x squared, and the last two together as I have another x squared. So x 4th is the square of x squared. And 16 divided by 2, have 8, divided by 2, we have 4, divided by 2, we have 2. So 16 is a 4 square, okay? 16 is a 4 square. So we do see that this binomial is a difference of two squares. Difference of two squares. The two bases are x squared and 4. Base 1 is x squared. Second base is 4. So we can write the binomial as x squared minus 4, x squared plus 4. And knowing x squared, and then look at the two binomials in the parentheses. If you stop here, you don't get a point, because even the steps are correct, your factorization is not complete, because x squared minus 4 is factorable. So look at x squared minus 4. X squared minus 4 is also a perfect square. It is x squared minus 2 squared. The first base, at this point, this step, first base is x, second base is 2. So x squared minus 4, this yellow part, is going to be factored as x minus 2 times x plus 2. And bring down the next factor, x squared plus 4. How do we know if x squared plus 4 factorable or not? X squared plus 4 is x squared plus 2 squared, is prime. I can remind you by look at our worksheet. The table that I gave in the worksheet. Sum of two squares is not factorable unless GCF is not 1. The table is right here. The yellow is still in yellow, highlighted. X squared plus y squared is prime. So unless we have GCF to factor out, a sum of two squares is not factorable. So at this point, the answer, this is a complete. The factorization is complete. The factorization has 3 polynomials. All the 3 polynomials are not factorable, so the factorization is complete. Let me enter the answer. You have to, okay, to submit. We submit. Good news is whatever we have done, the problems are correct. We just need to continue. We were on 29. Yeah, it's same with our answer, right? Again, the order doesn't matter. I have x minus 2 times x plus 2 and then x squared plus 4. The order doesn't matter because of the commutative property of multiplication and the associated property. Just know the order can be rearranged. Let's see the next question. Let's ignore the answer, just work on the problem. And then we compare our result with the answer. This problem, using the factoring method, solve for the roots of the quadratic equation Be sure to place the equation in standard form before factoring. This is a good reminder. Make sure to rewrite the equation in a standard form. When we solve a quadratic equation, we want the equation in the standard form first. Means the right-hand side has to be 0. We have 9x squared equals 60x minus 75. We can use the transposition of terms to make the right side be 0. So we keep 9x squared on the left side. We move a 60x over, we have minus 60x. And we move a negative 75 over, we have positive 75. You remember this, right? We move a 60x, which is positive on the right. We move the over, is going to be negative on the left. Same with the negative 75. Is negative on the right. When we move the over, it becomes positive. Right now, this equation is in the standard form. And then what I do, I would observe if this equation simplified. Is the equation simplified? Do I have any GCF to cancel? Let's look at the three coefficients, 9, 60, 75. 9 is divisible by 3. 60 is divisible by 3. 75, 7 plus 5 is 12, also divisible by 3. 0 is divisible by 3. The equation only has 4 terms. We can, as long as we treat all the terms the same way, the equation would remain equivalent. So to simplify the equation, we divide everything, all the terms by 3. And then let's see what we have. We're going to have 3x squared minus 20x plus, this is 25 equals 0. 3x squared minus 20x plus 25 equals 0. That's the simplified form and also in the standard form of the given equation. Well, now let's see how do we solve it. And the method we're going to apply here is going to be slide, divide. When we talk about the method, I give you a table. If you go back to recording, you will see I make a table to compare and contrast the similarity and the difference between the two methods, slide, divide, slide, and slide, divide. Slide, divide is to solve quadratic equation with the leading coefficient different from 1. This is a quadratic equation with the leading coefficient different from 1. The leading coefficient is 3, not 1. So we slide, we create a new equation. So it has no 3 in front of x squared, so just have x squared minus 20x plus 25 times 3, 75 equals 0. We're going to shortcut. And let's see, how do we factor the left side with leading coefficient 1? We need to find the two integers multiply to 75. We need to find the two integers multiply to 75, add up to negative 20. So they have to be both negative. Let's see, anybody have the negative 15? Do they multiply to 75? Yeah, they do. Awesome. Jacob was here. I need to remember to mark your attendance though. Thank you, Dakota. Is negative 15 and negative 5. Negative 15. Negative 5. They multiply to positive 75. Add up to negative 20. Very good. So negative 15, negative 5. And then divide the two numbers in red by the original leading coefficient, which is 3. Right after we divide, we need to remember to simplify the fractions. So we have negative 15 divided by 3, that is a negative 5. And negative 5 over 3 is already reduced. And Almost there, okay? Please do not slide again. The method only has two parts, slide divide. We are going to have our solution now. The solutions of the equation are, look at this number, 95. What is its opposite? Positive 5. And look at this number in red, find its opposite, positive 5 over 3. And that's it. So we are going to enter 5, 5 over 3 in a cell. As you can see, 5 over 3, 5, right? Same. The order doesn't matter, by the way. And that is slide divide method. Okay, next up, copy paste. Remove the GCF first, then continue to factor if possible. All right, let's see the trinomial we have. Let me cover those. The trinomial we have is 40x cubed plus 4x squared y minus 8xy squared. Is a trinomial. The trinomial does have GCF different from 1. Firstly, let's look at the three coefficients. We have 40, we have 4, we have negative 8. The GCF obviously is 4, right? And then we look at the variable x. We have x cubed here, we have x squared here, we have x here. Take the lower degree, take the one with the lowest degree, and we have x. And then we look at the part with the variable y. We have no y, okay. Y is not going to be part of the GCF because the first term does not have y. So the GCF is going to be 4x, all right? GCF is 4x. And how do we find the leftover in the parentheses? You might remember the method we learned in the class. Use the original term 1 over GCF plus original term 2 over GCF plus original term 3, which is negative, over GCF. Let's simplify. We have 4x outside. In the parentheses, let's simplify. 40 over 4, 10. X cubed over x, x squared. Plus 4 over 4, 4 cancel 4. X squared over x is x. We have a y on the top. And negative 8 over 4, negative 2. X cancel x, y squared. If you are not sure, you can always double check, right? 4x times 10x squared, 40x cubed. 4x times xy, 4x squared y. 4x times negative 2y squared, negative 8xy squared. Correct, very good. And not done yet. Follow the instruction here. And in the parentheses, we have a trinomial. This trinomial is 10x squared plus xy minus 2y squared. We have to see if we can factor it. This is the challenging part. We have 10x squared plus xy minus 2y squared. We are going to treat y as a constant. So this trinomial can be written as 10x squared plus y times x. See y as a coefficient of x. And then minus 2y squared. And we are going to use the slide method. And the slide, we have x squared plus y times x, and then minus 20y squared. We need to find the two integers, not integer, including y. They multiply to negative 20y squared, add up to positive y, and the two is gonna be 5y and then negative 4y. 5y minus 4y is 1y. 5y times negative 4y, negative 20y squared. So this is gonna be x plus 5y times x minus 4y. And then divide the original leading coefficient 10. And then simplify. We have y over 2. By the way, this is a challenging problem. If you get it wrong, it's okay, because it is challenging. 5 here. And then slide it back, right? We're going to slide this 2 back in front of x. Slide this 5 back in front of x. So we have 2x plus y times 5x minus 2y. 5x minus 2y. And then put it back. Bring this back here. So the answer is going to be 4x times parentheses 2x plus y times 5x minus 2y. Well, this is a challenging problem. I'm not sure if you have this problem in the test. Let me know if we do have this. I'll consider to waive the point. So let's see if is the same with our answer. 4x outside and then 2x plus y times 5x minus 2y. Exactly the same. But it is challenging because it has two variables. Make it challenging. It's doable if you can see y as the constant. All right. Well, I said that I will do it. If you see if you see something like this in the test, email me. I'll waive that question. Next. FOIL. We don't have the FOIL, right? We have other methods. Factor by trial and error method. Check your answer using FOIL. Okay. The methods I taught, one is a shortcut, one is select, divide, slide, right? I'll just keep consistency. For this question, since GCF is 1, how do we know? Because 7, 23, 7 is a prime, 3 is a prime. 20 is not divisible by any of those. So this is GCF definitely is 1. So there's nothing we can factor out. And the leading coefficient is not 1. So we're going to use the slide, divide, slide method. We slide and create a new polynomial. 7 times 93, 21. And then we factor, use the shortcut. Let me write the name of the method. Slide, divide, slide. We do have a shortcut after the first slide. And we need to find two numbers. Multiply to negative 21, add up to negative 20. When we look for two integers, multiply to negative, add up to negative, we know that is a conclusion number 4, right? And the two integers must have opposite sign, and the negative number has a bigger absolute value. And which two numbers satisfy? We factor 21. We can factor 21 as 1 times 21, 3 times 7, and that's it. And since the bigger number has negative number has bigger absolute value, we're going to place a negative number on top of the second factor, positive number on top of the first factor. And you know what this would work? Yes, the two numbers are positive 1 and negative 21. Positive 1, negative 21. They multiply to negative 21, add up to negative 20. And then divide the two numbers in red by the original leading coefficient 7. Right after we divide, remember to simplify. 1 over 7 is already simplified. 21 over 7, 3, so -3. When we still have a denominator, after we simplify, we slide it back. So the answer is 7x plus 1 times x minus 3. And if you have extra time, I'm pretty generous about the time. You just take your time to double check. You can use the box method to double check, right? If it is correct, if you go back, after you use the box method and you go back to the original trinomial, that means your answer is correct. So do you remember how do we box method? Binomial times binomial. We have 7x plus 1, we have x minus 3. 7x times x, 7x squared, 7x times 93, negative 21x. 1 times x is x, 1 times 93 is 93. And those two terms add up, negative 20x, exactly the same with the original given. 7x plus 1, x minus 3. Yeah, it is same with this one. Sorry, not this one. Same with the original polynomial, 93. All right, let's go back. 7x plus 1, x minus 3. Same with ours. Next question. Factor if possible. Be sure to factor completely. Always factor out the GCF first if one exists. It does exist. 7x cubed y cubed, 42x squared y cubed, 63xy cubed. So it looks very complicated, right? Yeah, is a sign that we need a factor of GCF. Firstly, check the numerical coefficients. We have 7, we have -42, we have 63. 7 goes into 42. 7 is a factor of 42. 7 is also a factor of 63. So by the first special case, the three numbers has GCF 7. And then we look at the variable part. And we have x cubed here, first term, x squared, second term, x, the third term. So GCF is x. Take the one with the lowest degree. And the y, we have y cubed here, y cubed from the second term, y cubed from the third term. They are all the same, of course, GCF is y cubed. So the GCF of the three terms is going to be 7xy cubed. Multiply the three things together. 7xy cubed. And then multiply by a parentheses. How do we find out what's going to be inside the parentheses? You can use the method. Use the original term 1 over GCF plus original term 2 over GCF. Oh, ran out of space. Let me erase those. Original term 3 over GCF. Simplify in the next step. 7 cancel 7. X cubed over x is x squared. X cubed, y cubed cancel y cubed. Second term, negative 42 over 7, negative 6. X squared over x, x. Y cubed cancel y cubed. And the third term, 63 over 7, 9. X cancel x, y cubed cancel y cubed. So that's what's in the parentheses. But not done yet, okay? Not done yet. This one is challenging, but it's doable. It's challenging, but it's doable. So in the parentheses, we have x squared minus 6x plus 9. It is a perfect square trinomial. Perfect square trinomial. How do you know? Because 9 is 3 squared. That's a strong signal, right? The first term is x squared, third term is 3 squared, and in the middle is negative twice of the multiplication of the two bases. Happen to be negative 6x. So this is a perfect square trinomial. Let me write down the formula. A squared minus 2ab plus b squared equals a minus b to the power of 2. So this is x minus 3 to the power of 2. X minus 3 to the power of 2. So let's bring this back. And the answer would be 7xy cubed times x minus 3 to the power of 2. This is the answer. Let's go back. Let's see if we got it right. 7xy cubed times x minus y to the power of 2. Exactly the same. All right. Next, let me copy paste. Use the factoring method to solve the equation. Write the equation in the standard form first. This equation already in the standard form. And this is a very doable problem, okay? This is not challenging at all. X squared plus 6x plus 5 equals 0. On the left side, we have a quadratic trinomial with the leading coefficient 1. We are going to use the shortcut method to factor it. In order to use the shortcut method, we need to find the two integers, multiply to c, add up to b. This is going to be easy, right? What are the two numbers? 1 and 5. This one is really easy. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 plus 5 is 6. Always double check your answer. So let's see. Right side is 0. Left side is a multiplication of two binomials, and both binomials are in the form x plus a number. So x plus number, what's the opposite of that number? Negative 1. X plus another number, what's the opposite of that number? Negative 5. And that's the solutions. Two solutions, negative 1 and negative 5. We enter them in a cell, use comma to separate them. Negative 5, negative 1, right? This is very straightforward. Next, copy paste. Remove the GCF, check your answer by multiplication. Okay. Numerical part first. 4 and 28. 4 is a factor of 28. 28 is a multiple of 4. 4 times 7 is 28, right? So GCF is a 4. And then we have x cubed, x squared. GCF is x squared. And then for y, we have a y fifth from the first term. We have a y fifth from the second term. And they are the same, so GCF is just y fifth. And then multiply the three things together. That's the GCF of the binomial. It is 4x squared y fifth multiplied by a parentheses. Inside the parentheses, we're gonna still have two terms. How do we find the leftover in the two terms? And then we use the original term 1 to over the GCF. Everybody can do this, okay? Plus original term 2 just copy whatever it is, 28 x squared y fifth to over the GCF, 4x squared y fifth. GCF I wrote it in red in front of the parentheses. In the next step, you simplify. Copy down 4x squared y fifth in the parentheses. Let's see, 4 cancel 4, x cubed over x squared is x in the top, y fifth cancel y fifth. Second term, 28 divided by 4 is 7, x squared cancel x squared, y fifth cancel y fifth. So the answer is 4x squared y fifth times x plus 7. Let's look at the answer. 4x squared y fifth times x plus 7. Same. Next. If we spend 1 hour in a class, you're supposed to spend 3 hours after the class. A lot of students don't know that. They think it's enough just to take the class. That's far less than enough. Factor if possible, always factor out GCF first. Okay, so let's see, do we have a GCF different from 1? Not really. We have 15, which is 3 times 5. We have 8, which is 2 times 2 times 2. We have 3, which is a prime. They do not have a GCF different from 1. The 3 numbers, GCF is 1, so we don't have nothing to factor out. And leading coefficient is different from 1, so what's the method? Slide divide slide with a shortcut right here. Okay, slide, create a new trinomial, x squared minus 8x plus 45. Shortcut. We need to find the two integers, multiply to 45, add up to -8. The two numbers must be both negative for that to happen. Look at the 4 concurrence. This is going to be case number 2. If two integers multiply to positive, add up to negative, then the two integers must be both negative. They must be both negative. Which two negative number? We try to factor 45. We have 1 times 45, 2 doesn't work, 3 times 15, 4 doesn't work, 5 times 9, 6 doesn't work, 7 doesn't work, 8 doesn't work. 9 we have already, and the two numbers must be both negative. They do not add up to -8. They do not add up to -8. They do not add up to -8. And this is prime. It's not factorable. Let me see. Yeah, the polynomial is a prime, not factorable. But it doesn't mean the shortcut method doesn't work. You still have to use the shortcut method to determine, to reasoning, to find out it is not factorable. When we run out cases, all the possibilities don't work. We only have 3 ways to factor 45, but none of them add up to -8. So when this happens, the trinomial is not factorable. So we just need to choose the B, the polynomial is prime. Next. Factor by grouping, check your answer. Okay, by grouping, remember cut in the middle, right? This is going to be the first group. This is going to be second group. Cut in the middle, there's a one thing is sometimes I couldn't see is positive or negative. It's positive. Okay, so I'm going to draw 2 boxes. In the first box, I put the first group. Second box, I put the second group. and then factor out GCF. GCF is A, and in the parentheses we have a B minus 4. This one GCF is 2. In the parentheses we have B minus 4. Put it back. Here we have, let me erase this line. We have A times B minus 4 plus 2 times B minus 4. They have a common binomial factor. We factor B minus 4 out. Left over, A plus 2. Done. If you have time, use box method to double check your answer. B minus 4, A plus 2. B minus 4, A plus 2, exactly the same. Next. I know I'm going pretty fast. As I said, we spend 1 hour here. You need to spend 3 hours after. Rewatch the recording. If you don't know where to find the recording, email me, okay? Factor by using either the difference of two squares or the perfect square trinomial formula. So this must be trinomial, perfect square trinomial formula, because the polynomial is a trinomial. We have two formulas, a squared plus 2ab plus b squared equals a plus b to the power 2 is this one. The reason is because the middle term is a positive. All right. Even this trinomial involves two variables, but since it is a perfect square trinomial, use a formula to factor it is a lot convenient. Let's see, the first term, 49a squared, 49a squared, 49 is 7 times 7, a squared is 8 times a, so we can do 7a times 7a, which is 7a to the power 2. So 7a times to the power 2. Same with 16b squared, I mean similar. 16b squared, 16 is 4 times 4, b squared is b times b, 4b times 4b. We have 4b to the power 2, 4b times to the power 2. In the middle, it should be twice of the multiplication of the two bases. The first base is 7a, second base is 4b. Okay, if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say base, look at it here. This is a perfect square. Perfect square is exponential expression. Remember exponential expression, like it has two parts. This is exponent, this is the base. So when I say base, 7a to the power 2 is a perfect square. When I say base, I refer to 7a. So 7a is the first base. Base 1 is 7a. And base 2 is 4b. This is the base 2, 4b. And the middle happened to be the twice of the multiplication of two bases. 2 times 7 is 14. 14 times 4. 14 times 4 is 56. Or 2 times 4 is 8. 7 times 8 is 56. Times a times b. So it is a perfect square trinomial. All we need to do is, and also, if the problem tells you to use the formula, it has to be. It has to be. It will not trick you. It will be perfect square trinomial. So all we need to do, all that matters is you find the first base and second base. And then what do? You add up the two bases and then raise the sum to the power 2. And that's it. 7a plus 4b to the power 2. Right? Next. Factor by grouping. Okay. Factor by grouping. I would still check the GCF because the numbers are a little factoring by grouping method. This is a 3 terms, right? Mm, 125. Let's see. 22 is 2 times 11. 125 is not divisible by 2. It's not divisible by 11 either. So 25. Yeah, it is 5 times 5 times 5. So use grouping method. The method I teach is slide divide slide method, right? So let's do that. X squared minus 100, not, we don't have an equal sign. X squared minus 125x plus, use your calculator to figure out what is 22 times 22. This is 44, this is 44, and 4a4. It's pretty big though. And then we have the shortcut method. We need to find the two integers, multiply to 4a4, add up to negative. Find two integers, multiply to 4a4, add up to negative 125. They must be both negative. 4a4 could be 1 times 4a4, 2 times 242. 3 doesn't work. 4 times 1 to 1. Oh, there we go. Not too much effort, right? Seems a very large number. They both negative. So negative 4, negative 1 to 1. Because negative 4 times negative 1 to 1 is a positive 4a4, and they add up to negative 1 to 5. And then divide by 22, simplify, reduce the fraction. And this one is negative 2 over 11. This one is x minus 1 to 1 divided by 11 is 11. 22 divided by 11 is 2. And then we slide it back. So the final answer is 11x minus 2 times 2x minus 11. 11x minus 2 times 2x minus 11. I think Dakota has the two numbers found. Awesome. Let me see the answer. 2x minus 11, 11x minus 2. You know, every professor has different methods, right? I do not use grouping method to factor trinomial. I only use grouping method to factor polynomials with 4 terms. And it works. It's really not much trouble. Next. Oh, I have this already. I got a trinomial. We're gonna factor this trinomial. Observe GCF 2753, so no GCF, or GCF is 1. Select divide slide. So we have x squared minus 53x, 14 times 14, 196. Yeah. And then we need a shortcut. We need to find the two integers, multiply to 196, add up to negative 53. Does Dakota have the two numbers found? 4 and 49. I think it works. Yeah, awesome. So, but let me analyze. The two numbers must be negative, right? Must be both negative. And which two negative numbers? We try to factor 196. And it's a good way to analyze, practice the feelings about numbers. Factor a number is a very useful skill. and 2 times 98, or 3 doesn't work. 4 times 49. Yeah, the code I found is negative 94, 49. 94, 49. Okay, 94, 49. And don't forget, the method is called slide method. And we divide the two real numbers by the original leading coefficient. 4/14, simplify, gives us negative 2/7. 49/14 gives us cancel 4. Cancel 7. 49 divided by 7. 14 divided by 7 is 2. And then we slide it back. We have 7x minus 2 times 2x minus 7. Okay. Yeah, this is my method. I do not use grouping method for trinomial. I believe in Pearson probably introduced different method, which is good. You know, you have more options. You have more options. You just learn whatever the method you feel comfortable and confident. All right, next. Where is the... Did I accidentally close that? Did I accidentally close the... Oh no. Guys, did I accidentally close the test? I'm sorry, I apologize. How many questions left there? I have no idea why it does not let me look at what I have done earlier. Exam 3 practice test. It disappeared. Attempts 1 of unlimited. It doesn't let me see my attempt. View, no, that's not. Do you remember which questions we were on? That was the 40th question? Really? Oh, that's good. So that means we finished, right? Okay, awesome. Well, you know what is good? We finished. That means we have about 3 hours for the final review. Let's get it started. Before we do that, let me fix something. Fix the time. Our assignments, manage. I'm going to change the final practice setting for the class. I'm going to change the time to, where's the time? Oh, it's right here. 4 hours. Then it won't like cut us out. Let me save. Then we have 4 hours. That should be enough to get it done. Okay. review for final exam practice test. Started. We have 40 questions. Okay. First question. Multiply, use the distributive property. Okay. Yes, the method is distributive property. Because we are multiplying a trinomial by a monomial. If you are not comfortable with the monomial on the right side, we can switch the order of the two polynomials. We can write 6ab in front of the trinomial, negative a minus 3b plus 3. And now let's do the distributive property. We're going to have 6ab multiplied by the first term plus 6ab multiplied by the second term. I use blue here. Plus 6ab times the third term. And I simplify in the next step. I don't rush. I don't try to do multiple steps in one. 6ab times negative a is not minus a, it's times negative a. We got a negative, positive times negative is negative. Negative 6a squared b. And second term, positive times negative is negative. Negative 6a squared b. Huh? Hold on. I copied something wrong, didn't I? Yes, I did. My bad. The first term is negative a, second term is a positive 3b. Okay, so always double check. So 6ab, negative a, 6ab, negative 3b, negative 3b, negative 3b. Slow down. And 6ab times 3. Okay. And positive times negative is negative. 6 times 3, 18. A, b times b squared. Positive times positive is positive. 6 times 3, 18, ab. And knowing those two are not like terms, they have different variable parts. And this is the final answer. Let me enter to the here. Negative. It's going to be time consuming actually. Negative. But I think we should do this because what it really matters is what you enter in the cell. Negative 6a squared b, negative 6a squared b minus 18 minus 18 ab squared a ab squared, and then plus 18 ab. Let me double check. Negative 6 a squared b minus 18 ab squared plus 18 ab. Okay, that's correct. Next. Simplify. Remove grouping symbols and combine like terms. Ooh. We have 3 sets of grouping symbols. We have 3 sets. When you have something like this, start from the inside. We start from the parentheses, and then we do the bracket, and then we do the braces. Okay, so we are going to do this yellow part first, and then copy everything else. Okay, copy 92, copy left-handed braces, copy 3a squared minus 4, and in the bracket, let's see, in the bracket is yellow. Let's simplify the yellow part. We copy 2a squared, and the parentheses has a coefficient -1. Okay, it has a coefficient -1. So -1 times 6b, negative 6b. -1 times a squared, negative a squared. When the coefficient of a parenthesis is -1, we remove the parentheses, and everything in the parenthesis is going to become their opposite. So 6b become -6b, a squared become -a squared. So that's the yellow part. Let's continue simplify the yellow part, and everything else, just copy them. Do not lose anything. Be careful. And the yellow part right now has 3 terms, and we have 2 terms. They are like terms. 2a squared minus a squared, 2a squares minus a squared, so that we have 1a squared. A squared minus 6b, and that's it. Okay. And then now we are going to deal with the bracket. And what's the coefficient of the bracket? Is -4. So we are going to multiply everything in the bracket by -4. So we are going to copy -2 and the braces, and then copy 3a squared, and then we're going to remove the bracket by multiplying -4 with the 2 terms in the bracket. -4 times a squared, -4a squared. -4 times a squared, -2, 3a squared minus 4a squared, and -4 times -6b. If you are not sure, you have scratch paper, right? -4 times -6b, negative times negative, positive 24b. Always double check. 94a squared plus 24b, correct? Okay. And now we have 3 terms in the braces, and 2 of them are like terms. 3a squared minus 4a squared, they can combine. So in the braces, we have 3a squared minus 4a squared as a negative a squared plus 24b. Okay, now let's use the distributive property one more time to remove the braces. This time the coefficient is -2. -2 times -a squared, negative times negative. If you are not sure, always write it down. Negative times negative positive, so we have 2a squared. And -2 times positive 24b is a -48b. -48b. So the answer is 2a squared minus 48b. 2a squared, 2a squared minus 48 minus 48b. Let's double check. Make sure we enter what we wanted. 2a squared minus 48b. 2a squared minus 48b. Okay. Next. Solve for x. Check your answer. What is it? Please don't lose the point on that. -14. Think about which number plus 14 give you 0. Only the opposite of 14 plus 14 gives you 0. So x has to be -14. This one, complete the following statement. To solve the equation 1/5 x equals -8, multiply each side of the equation by 5. I need to emphasize for this type of question. They give you, the question gives you an equation, but you are not solving it. Okay, in a cell you are not entering the solution of the equation. You are not entering the solution of the equation. You are, read the question, you are entering the number you are going to multiply by each side of the equation to isolate x. Please be mindful and knowing what you're doing. Are you answering the question the problem asks you? Multiply each side of the equation by 5, by the reciprocal of the coefficient of x. You might remember, if you look at your notebook, I said when the coefficient of the variable x is a fraction, instead of dividing, we multiply the reciprocal of the coefficient. The coefficient here is a fraction, 1/5. So we multiply by its reciprocal, which is 5/1, or just 5. Do not enter 5/1, okay? Just enter 5. 5/1 is the 5. Next, find the value of the variable that satisfies the equation. Okay, just solve the equation, right? Okay, solve the equation. Solve on my scratch paper. It's my OneNote. And we're going to use the rule that I stated just now. When the coefficient of the variable is a fraction, we identify the reciprocal of the fraction and multiply each side of the equation by the reciprocal. And as you can see here, 6 cancel 6, 5 cancel 5. We have x by itself on the left side. And on the right side, we have 20/1 times 6/5. And butterfly, 20/5 is 4, right? 20 divided by 5 is 4. So we have 4 here. 4 times 6, 24. X equals 24. X equals 24. Something like this, I recommend that you use your calculator to double check your answer, plugging in. Only when 5/6 multiplied by 24 gives you 20. Next, solve for x. Let's see. Now we look back, chapter 1, chapter 2. This is chapter 2. It's pretty simple, right? Okay, if you are not feeling comfortable, x is on the right side, you can switch 24x and negative 192, and you make x appears on the left side. Coefficient of x is 24. We are going to divide each side by 24. 24 cancel 24. X is isolated on the left side. And on the right side, we have a negative. Use your calculator to divide 192 by 24. It's going to be 8. Negative 8, right? Awesome. Perfect. Yeah, let's enter negative 8. Negative 8. Be careful. You see, sometimes I make a mistake because it's so tiny. My vision not the best. You want to double check. Be careful. Double check. This question is so straightforward. You just multiply 24 by negative 8. If you have negative 192, that means that's correct. Next, solve equation for x. Type an integer or simplified fraction. So that means do not enter decimal, right? That means if you enter decimal, you don't get a point. All right, let's see this problem. I'm going to color them. This is yellow. This is pink. This is blue. What am I going to do is I'm going to move the blue over to the left. Move the yellow over to the right. Let me color them again. Let me explain what happened. What happened is I move the yellow term to the right. So the yellow is a positive on the left, so it's going to be negative on the right. And then move the blue from right to the left. Blue is negative on the right, it's going to be positive on the left. The reason I do this is to collect like terms. Now the like terms are collect. If you see that, oh, the color is confusing me, like make me feel dizzy, you just need to copy those terms, right? And now you feel comfortable. Combine like terms. 8x minus 2x, 6x, divided by 6. Very good. X equals negative 8. Another negative 8. Awesome. Another negative 8 is coincident. Negative 8. Next. Solve equation. Check your answer. That's a good reminder. This equation involves fractions. I'm going to find the LCM of all the denominators. We have two denominators, 2 and 6. So the LCM is 6 because 6 is a multiple of 3, multiple of 2. So we are going to remove the denominators first. We don't like a fraction, so we remove the denominator first. Multiply every single term by 6. Knowing in the equation we have 3 terms, do not forget we have a 4 here. You divide 4 by 6 as well. Divide by 6. And then multiply the second term by 6 equals this term multiplied by 6. And then we simplify. 4 times 6 is 24. And we are going to interchange the order, like we're going to put the numbers together, okay? Multiply the coefficient half by 6. Here the same, 1 over 6 times 6 over 1 times x. So 24, butterfly, 6 over 2, 3. Negative 3x. On the right side, butterfly, cancel x. And then what I do? And then I'm going to move the 3x over, okay? Move the 3x to the right side. So we have a positive 3x. We have 24 on the left side. X for 3x, 4x. Divide each side by 4. We have x equals 6. If 6 equals x, then x equals 6. You know what? We should double check by plugging in because it's a fraction. If we plug in x equals 6, right hand side is 1. Left hand side, this part is going to be 4 minus 3 is 1 as well. So the answer is 6. Next. Ooh, this one is more complicated. I'm going to remove the denominator again. The denominator first again. So we have two denominators. Since 7 and 8 are co-prime, hope you still remember that. 7 is a prime, 8 is 2 times 2 times 2, so they are co-prime. The LCM is their multiplication, 56. So I'm going to multiply here by 56 and here by 56, squeeze in. No, let me just redo it. So I'm going to rewrite the equation and leave the space. Multiply by 56 here, multiply by 56 here, multiply by 56 here. And let's see, how do we use butterfly to simplify, to remove the denominators. 56 over 8, 56 over 8, 7. 7 times 3, 21. 56 divided by 7, 8. 6 times 8, 48. Butterfly, 56 over 7, 8. 8 times parentheses x plus 1. And no denominators anymore. And we have a grouping symbol. Let's distribute. Distributive property. 21x minus 105. Use calculator. 21x minus 105 plus 48 equals 8 times x, 8x. 8 times 1 is 8. And then left side can be further simplified. Let's see what is negative 105 plus 48. Use your calculator. It's going to be negative, right? Going to be negative 5, 7. Double check. 5, yeah. Negative 57. And then 8x plus 8. And now I'm going to rearrange the location or the slot of those 4 terms. I'm going to keep 21x on the left, move 8x over, so minus 8x. Move 57 over, negative become positive. Let me repeat. 8x is moved to the left, so positive become negative. Negative 57 move to the right, so negative become positive. And then we collect, combine like terms. We have 21x minus 8x, that is 13x. On the right side, 57 plus 8, 65. Divide each side by 13, x equals 5, right? Awesome, perfect. If you have time, you should always double check. Let's plug in x equals 5 here. When we plug in x equals 5, this term disappears, becomes 0. And here, 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 times 1 over 7, 6 over 7. Okay, that's correct. The checking part is pretty convenient. Let me enter x equals 5 here. Next. Take time to read our question. Write an algebraic expression for the given quantity. Let x represent the unknown value, 1/7 of a number. If the number is x, then we are translating 1/7 of x. 1/7 is a fraction. OF is translated as multiply x. I believe you can enter 1/7x or x over 7. I think I'll enter this one. 1/7 of x. Make sure you know x is not in the denominator, okay? It's not in the denominator. It's actually in the numerator, but we can write this as a, so this is a quotient structure. This is a product structure. Let's write a product structure. 1/7 times x. Write what is the algebraic expression. So 1/7 times x, and that's it. Next. Is too small, so let me copy paste. I can make it bigger here. Oh, this is a word problem. When 15 is reduced by 1/3 of a number, the result is 6. Find the number. Let's use x to represent the number. When 15 is reduced by 1/3 of a number, the number is x. 1/3 of x is 1/3x. When 15 is reduced by, the result is 6. When 15 is reduced by 1/3 of x, the result is 6. So this is the equation we are going to solve. Now let's solve it. I'm going to move 15 over. 6 minus 15. We have a -9. And then I'm going to multiply each side by -1. Or, you know, as long as we treat each side of the equation the same way, we are fine. So since both sides of the equation is negative, we can remove both negative signs altogether. So I'm going to have a positive 1/3x equals 9. And then I'm going to multiply each side by 3. Butterfly, 3/3 is 1. We have x isolated on the left side. On the right, we have 27. We should double check, but when we double check, we do not plug in the equation. Instead, we are going to plug in back to the sentence. 1/3 of 27 is 9. 15 is reduced by 9. 15 minus 9. 15 minus 9. 6. The answer, the result is 6. So it satisfies the condition. That means our answer definitely is correct. Enter 27. 27 here. Next. Oh, the first angle, the second angle, the third angle. Okay. This is also a word problem. Still very tiny because it's very long. A triangular region of a community college parking lot was measured. The measure of the first angle of this triangle is double the measure of the second angle. Okay, so how about, let me highlight this part. First angle is double of the second. The third angle is 145 greater than double the first. So basically, here it tells us first angle is twice of the second angle. So it means we can write the first angle in terms of second angle. And here it says third angle is 145 greater than double the first angle. So that means third angle can be written in terms of first angle, and first angle can be written in terms of second angle. So here we are going to let x be the measurement of the second angle. The second angle in a triangle. Okay, we are going to let x be the measurement, like how many degree of the second angle. Since the first angle, then the first angle would be second angle is x, the first angle is double the second, so 2x. And the third angle is gonna be I know the type is wrong spell. Third angle is 145 greater than double the first. This is the first, right? Double the first, and then 145 greater than. 145 greater than twice of the first. Okay, guys, do you agree that? So it really depends on how do you really understand those words. So now we have all the three angles are written in terms of x. Second angle is x. First angle is 2x. Third angle is 2 times 2x plus 145. And we can simplify here. 2 times 2x is just 4x. So 4x plus 145. And we know that the three angles in a triangle add up to 180. So this plus this plus this gives us 180 degree. So we have x plus 2x plus 4x plus 145 equals 180. Let's solve this equation. X plus 2x plus 4x, 7x. Combine like terms. And then we minus 145 from each side. We have 7x equals 35. Yep. And then divide each side by 7. X equals 5. X is 5. So that means the second angle is 5 degree. First angle is 10 degree. Third angle is 4 times 5 is 20. 20 plus 145, 165 degree. Yep. Let's enter the answer. I need to remember. The first one, not 5. The first one is 10. First one is 10. Second one is 5. Second angle is 5. So 10, 5, 165. 10. You don't have to enter the circle, the degree symbol. So the first angle is 10. Second angle is 5. Third angle is 165. Make sure do not mess up the order. First angle is 10. Second angle is 5. Then we can double check. The second angle is, hold on here. Hold on. The first angle is double the second angle. Correct. The first angle is twice of the second angle. And the third angle is 125 more than twice of the first angle. First angle is 10. Double it is 20. 20 added 145 is 165. So the three angles satisfy the condition, the descriptions in the order problem. So that means our answers are correct. You don't have to wait for the system tell you is correct or not. You can double check yourself. Next. This is also order problem. Little Melinda, I remember this one. nickels and quarters in her bank. One reason I think this course is totally doable is because your exam problems, those problems are from the same question pool. When you work on your assignments, those questions might appear in the test. So they are not like a surprise, give you a super hard problem or anything. During the 12 weeks, you have been working on the same level, same difficult level problem. It's not super easy, I would say that, but it is doable. Well, let's look at this problem. Little Melinda has nickels and quarters. Nickels, I remember, is 5 cents, right? Nickels, 5 cents. Quarters, 25 cents. Bigger. In her bank, she has 8 fewer nickels than quarters. She has $5 in the bank. How many coins of each type does she have? Okay, so we have 2 targets, 2 unknowns. But we are only gonna use one variable, so we have to determine which variable you're gonna be assigned as x. So because this sentence, she has 8 fewer nickels than quarters. It really doesn't matter in this case, actually. We can let x be the number of quarters. Then she has 8 fewer nickels than quarters. So she has x minus 8 nickels. She has x quarters. She has x minus 8 nickels. Then since she has x quarters, that's going to be 0.25x dollars. And x minus 8 nickels, that's going to be 5 times x minus 8 dollars. And added together, she has $5. So that's how do we set up the equation. And then let's solve the equation. Distributive property, 5x minus 40 plus 0.25x equals 5. Simplify 5x plus 0.25x, 5.25x minus 40 equals 5, plus 40 to each side. We have 5.25x equals 45. Use the calculator, divide each side by 5.25. What do you have? Guys, what do you have? No? No, it doesn't work. Did I make any mistake here? It's supposed to be an integer, whole number. 5x minus 40, 25 cents x, $5. 5.25x equals 45. It has to be an integer, supposed to be an integer. Let me double check. She has 8 fewer nickels than quarters. She has $5 in her bank. It's correct. And that, oh my gosh. Nickels, my bad. Cents, not dollars. Oops. 0.5. My bad. I apologize. The right side is 5. So 0.05 plus 0.25, 0.3x, and 45. So we divided 0.3, 0.3, x equals 150. So she has 150 quarters. She has 142 nickels. Let me double check this time. Quarters, so 150 times divided by 4. .25. I'm sorry. Let's start over. You know, we do this problem before, and it turns out sometimes depends on how you feel. Let me do it again. 0.05x minus 0.4. Yep. Plus 0.25x equals 5. And this is 0.3x equals 5.4 divided by 0.3, x equals 18. 18 quarters, 10 nickels. 5 cents is 1 nickel, so 5 cents, 50 cents, half dollar. And this one, 18 divided by 4, $4.50. That's 50 cents. Okay, finally. I apologize. I don't know what happened. I'm a human being, making mistakes. That's what happened. So Melinda has 18 quarters, 10 nickels. 18 quarters, 10 nickels. How many quarters? 18 quarters, 10 nickels. Okay, next. Replace. So we are comparing two negative numbers. The one with bigger absolute value is smaller, so we do that. The alligator mouse always chasing the bigger quantity. All right. I can show you by mark the two numbers on the real number line. Zero. This is negative 2.3. This is negative 4.5. Because negative 2.3 is closer to the origin, so negative 2.3 is bigger. Next. Translate the graph to an inequality using the variable x. So this is x is bigger than or equal to. Use integers or fractions for any number in the expression. So we're going to type x bigger than or equal to right here. Negative 8/3. Negative 8/3. over 3. All right, because the shaded region is to the right of the number, so it's bigger. The shaded region is bigger. The negative 8.3 is the lower bound of the region. Here is a solid dot, so we have bigger than or equal to. Next. We are going to solve first and then choose the graph, right? Solve first. Negative 2x bigger than 19 minus 7. Move 7 from left to the right. We have 12. I think this couple of times that because I'm just doing like those problems myself, less interaction with you guys. I kind of lost a little bit. You guys still here, right? I'm recording. Okay. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Give me some stimulation. Wake up. All right. So we have time to finish more questions. So 19 minus 7 is 12. Then 2x. And if this was an equation, if it was, of course not, right? You are going to divide each side by -2. So same here, we are going to divide each side by -2. Don't forget, when we divide each side of an inequality by a negative number, we have to switch the direction of the inequality symbol. So we're going to have -2x over 92 less than 12 over 92. We cancel the 92. We have x isolated on the left side, less than 96. X is less than -6. That's the solution. Awesome. Thank you, Amanda. Let's enter the answer. The solution, type an inequality. X is less than -6. Choose the correct graph of the solution below. Less than, so it's gonna be to the left of 96. To the left of 96. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gonna be C. Has to be a circle, not a solid dot. So A is out, D is out, because A and D, they have this closed circle. And B is wrong because the right side is shaded region to the right of the 96. Has to be to the left. You know, there's a trick for this question. If you want to know, I would elaborate a little bit more. Since the multiple choice question. How do you know which graph to choose? So firstly, A is out, D is out, because it has to be circle, open circle at the number. And how do we know which side? We can try 0, like a testing point. The inequality is 7 minus 2x bigger than 19. If we plug in x equals 0, because 0 is convenient, the inequality becomes 7 is bigger than 19. That is a false statement, right? That means the shaded region can turn 0. But look at the B. The shaded region can turn 0. That's the reason B is out. We have to choose C. Just some trick that I want to share with you. Next. Yeah, that's a good trick. Choose a convenient number. Because it's a multiple choice question, we could always use the method of elimination. Let's see this question. 6.2 points. Okay, let me copy paste. Oh, this is just actually we don't have to copy paste. This is just to, I need to make it bigger. Oh, to type the ordered pair. Okay. A -8. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. -8, comma -2. I don't like this kind of problem. Too small. -8, comma -2. -8 and so many. -8, comma -2. All right. If I enter something wrong, please let me know. And good. This is good. I don't have to enter comma parentheses. Point B. Where is B? It's here. Negative. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. -6, comma -1. -6. -6. Oops. -6, comma -1. -1. And then C. C is in quadrant 3 as well. -3, comma -3. This makes it very convenient. -3, comma -3. And next, D. D is -1, comma -7. 2, 4, 6, 7. -1, comma -7. -1, comma -7. -1, comma -7. 97. Point E. It's right where it is. Here. On the y-axis, 0, comma 94. 0, comma -4. F. Quadrant 4. 4, comma -5. 4, comma -5. 4, comma -5. Do you guys agree? I can make it even bigger. Oh, it's better. This is better? Yeah. I should have made it bigger. So A, yeah. All right, guys. We run out of time. Let me directly close this page. Then next time when we reopen it, we can continue. And knowing the thing is, if you submit, you will lose it. But if you just close the page, next time we can continue. Just leave here. I posted the Juicy, just skip it. Okay, I posted the exam information about exam 3 and the final. Please read the announcements in Blackboard. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'll say good night. I'll see you on Wednesday.